Title: The Girl in the Red Coat, A Story of Hope. Intro. Today on Stories That Stay With You, we bring you a true story of heartache, hope, and the resilience that can shine in the darkest places. A heartwarming rescue that reminds us there is always light, even when the world feels impossibly dark. The story. It was a bitterly cold January morning in a small Montana town, the kind of cold that bites your skin and paints your breath in clouds. At the edge of town, a young girl named Emily, just 8 years old, had wandered away from her family's small farmhouse, wearing nothing but her red coat, thin leggings, and boots that were a size too big. Emily loved the snow, and as the first light of morning touched the frost-covered fields, she had stepped outside to watch the sunrise. The snow was magical, and in her childhood innocence, she followed a set of animal tracks through the woods, her giggles swallowed by the trees. She didn't realize how far she had wandered until the farmhouse was out of sight. Back at home, her mother, Sarah, noticed Emily's absence and immediately felt the cold hand of fear tighten around her heart. She called for Emily, her voice echoing through the morning air, but there was no answer. Sarah called 911, and soon neighbors and volunteers joined the search. The sheriff's department and local fire department organized search parties. The clock was ticking. It was now below freezing, and Emily had been missing for nearly 2 hours. In the forest, Emily was trying to follow her own footprints back, but the snow had begun to fall again, gently erasing her path. She felt the cold seep through her thin boots, her small hands turning numb inside her mittens. She tried to stay brave, remembering what her mom told her. If you ever get lost, stay in one place and wait. We will find you. So Emily found a tree, sat down beside it, pulled her red coat tightly around herself, and tried to stay awake, humming softly to herself. Back in town, a volunteer named Mike, a retired forest ranger, joined the search. He knew the woods well and felt a deep tug in his heart to help. He walked carefully, calling Emily's name, listening for the slightest sound. Hours passed. The sun was beginning to set, casting a golden light over the icy landscape. The temperature was dropping, and hope was fading with the light. Worn Mike paused, taking in the stillness. When he thought he heard a faint sound, almost like humming, he turned his head, holding his breath, and heard it again. It was a small, soft hum, barely audible over the crunch of snow beneath his boots. He followed the sound and saw, under a pine tree, a splash of red. Emily was sitting there, her eyes closed, humming softly, her lips pale. Mike knelt beside her, speaking gently. "Emily, it's okay. You're safe now." Emily opened her eyes and whispered, "You found me." He wrapped her in a thick blanket he carried in his pack and radioed for help. Soon, rescuers arrived, and Emily was carried out of the forest, wrapped in warmth and hope. At the hospital, Emily was treated for mild frostbite, but recovered fully. The entire town rejoiced, and the story of Emily's rescue became a reminder of the power of community and the miracle of listening closely for the small sounds of hope in the world. Reflection. Sometimes life's cold seasons make us feel alone and lost, just like Emily in the snow. But even when it seems like no one can hear us, hope is closer than we know, waiting for the moment we let ourselves be found. Emily's story reminds us that even in the coldest, darkest moments, there are people willing to search for us, to call our names, and to walk into the forest until they find us. It is a story of hope, of kindness, and of the miracle of a community that refuses to give up. Takeaway: may we always listen for the soft songs of hope in our lives, and may we be willing to be the ones who search for others, bringing warmth and light to a cold world. This is Stories That Stay with Why.